Anthony Joshua responded to Jake Paul's newest training footage by saying Jake's confidence is drifting into outright delusion. Joshua said that Jake genuinely believes challenging a full-sized heavyweight champion was a smart choice, which to him shows how far Jake's perception has drifted from the actual demands of top-level boxing. For Joshua, Jake's self-belief isn't the issue. It's that he has no grasp of what it means to face someone who has lived in the heavyweight division for years.
That you pride Jake Paul of having, that maybe you haven't seen in other competition you faced so far?
From a physical aspect, I couldn't even mention it at the minute. But from a mental aspect, he offered me to fight. Normally, I'm offering people fights. He's told me, come and fight. So
Joshua also stressed that size alone never determines a real fight. He explained that even though Jake is physically bigger than someone like Gervonta Davis, the lightweight star would still dominate because elite fighters win with timing, instincts, and refined craft, not just muscle or height. Joshua wasn't trying to create a fantasy matchup. He was illustrating how skill can completely erase a size advantage when one fighter has far more experience.
I think Gervonta would have struggled in some aspects, but I think he would have got the victory.
Think Gervonta would have got it?
Yes, because of his counter-punching ability. So I think he would have, you know how he done with Frank Martin, kept his tight guard, took some shots on the gloves, figured out his distance, and then...
Former heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz offered guidance shaped by hard lessons from his own career. Ruiz encouraged Jake to stay calm, keep his faith, and refuse to let fear take over as the fight with Joshua approaches. He reminded him that doubt can ruin a fighter before a single punch lands. Ruiz reflected on the period when almost nobody believed he could defeat Joshua back in 2019. Yet he pulled off one of boxing's biggest upsets. His message wasn't that belief alone will win the fight, but that panic is the fastest way to fall apart against a heavyweight with Joshua's power and accuracy. Ruiz emphasized that mental stability is just as important as physical preparation when facing a man of Joshua's size and danger.
Having faith, don't be scared, and do what you gotta do, you know? Ask God for that victory and he will come through, and just be fearless, you know? That's what you gotta do. You gotta be fearless and give it all you got, you know?
Any secret to boxing a guy like
Just get him with the
Joshua?
right hand. That's what Jake Paul's looking for, the right hand. And if he lands, he could do good damage. So a lot of people underestimate Jake Paul, but in reality, he's a good fighter and he's dedicated, and that's what I like about him.
You get on the phone with Jake before the fight?
I haven't, but I'm gonna hit him up. And try to give him some little pointers, huh?
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
brother.
look, I want to see you get back in the ring too. What's the deal?
We're April. I'm starting camp already next month, and in April we're getting down, baby. It should be in Los Angeles or in Vegas, but I'm gonna be training with Manny Robles. I'm gonna be in
Legendary. Announcer Michael Buffer acknowledged that both Paul brothers sparked a new wave of enthusiasm in boxing, bringing in younger audiences who might never have watched the sport. He credited them for the hype, creativity, and huge crowds they attract. But when the topic shifts to Jake stepping in with Anthony Joshua, Buffer becomes far more serious. He noted that Joshua isn't just a star, he's one of the most destructive punchers in the heavyweight era. Buffer warned that Jake must drastically upgrade his defense, because Joshua's shots carry a level of force Jake has never tasted. He stressed that social media attention and promotional energy won't help when the punches start flying. Once the bell sounds, popularity cannot protect a fighter's chin. His point was simple: this fight is a leap from influencer tier competition to a proven world-class knockout artist, and that jump brings enormous risk.
So Jake and Logan, first of all, are fantastic athletes. You know what Logan does with the WWE and what Jake does with boxing, knocks people out and everything. And they both have massive fan bases. And for me, it's great to see people get young people that follow them that didn't have they don't remember Ali or Joe Frazier or whatever. It's not in their wheelhouse. So it's great to see them developing fight fans and a big fight atmosphere. So it's very exciting.
These two stood face to face, and the comment section on the internet was going crazy. They were call the ambulance now, basically. Anthony Joshua looks dangerous standing next to him.
Anthony Joshua is, at this time, and has been for years, the biggest puncher in boxing. He's a devastating puncher. So I got to give Jake a lot of credit for wanting to take this fight.
Yeah, it's not. A lot of people saying it's not smart. if he somehow was able to surprise the world, what does this do for him?
The word would be surprised if he shocked the world. But that's exactly why you got to give him credit. He wants to do it. He trains hard, he works hard, and he has a lot of faith in himself. So we'll see what happens.
Technically, though, what's the biggest concern for you what's the biggest tip you could give Jake, knowing that you've watched Anthony so many times?
Commentator Aries Spears didn't sugarcoat anything. He said flat out that if Joshua somehow lost to Jake Paul, fans would instantly assume the fight was arranged or fixed because the mismatch is so outrageous. He wasn't accusing anyone. He was explaining how unbelievable such a result would appear. Spears said the gap in experience, strength, and pedigree is so big that a Joshua loss would defy common sense for most viewers.
If Anthony Joshua loses this, the fight was fixed. Because now he's fighting a real fighter.
Right. And, unlike Gervonta, who was physically a lot smaller than him, Anthony Joshua was 245 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised he's taking this fight.
Well, I think he's tired of people saying he's not legitimate.
Well, I mean,
And the
he's
whole
been
thing is-
fighting non-legitimate people.
Right. So
Yeah.
the whole critique has been, you want to be considered legitimate? Fight
Right.
somebody legitimate.
Right, because even the Gervonta fight I thought was not legitimate because the weight classes are so different.
Right.
Now, Gervonta's a beast
Yeah.
in his weight class.
But
You're fighting someone way bigger.
That'd be like me fighting Gary Coleman. You know what I mean?
Boxing analyst Joey Knight argued that Jake Paul's decision to take on Anthony Joshua is driven mainly by business strategy rather than sporting logic. He explained that Jake understands better than most fighters how massive names, viral promotion, and global buzz can generate extraordinary revenue regardless of the outcome. But Knight warned that money doesn't soften punches. Joshua's power, ring intelligence, and history of facing elite heavyweights make this one of the most dangerous matchups Jake has ever chosen. He cautioned that the financial upside doesn't erase the real physical risks or the possibility of lasting damage. Knight said the biggest concern is that Jake might not fully grasp what it means to stand across from a seasoned heavyweight who has spent years fighting giants.
A lot of cash, maybe not as much as the Anthony Joshua fight, but a lot of cash, and can still have a serious chance of going on to earn even more paydays. Whereas the damage that it could do to his body could be irreversible for that opportunity to earn money in a boxing career going forward. So is this the retirement bag, or do you actually think you can win? Because I read a study recently, and I believe it said something along the lines of men overemphasize or overcalculate their ability to fight by about 500 times. And I'm saying Jake Paul would probably need to be 500 times better to stand a chance against Anthony Joshua. And I can't get how he doesn't already know this. Surely he has sparred with heavyweights. Surely the recent sparring that he had with the likes of Shakur Stevenson and with the likes of Ray Ford, amongst others, Badu Jack, surely that would have taught you that there are levels to boxing. And if these small guys are able to show you things that you had no idea that you were vulnerable to in a boxing ring, what happens when someone who hits 4, 5, 6 times as hard as that does the exact same thing to you and lands it on your chin? The whole reason of why I know where I am in the influencer boxing scene, in the misfit scene, is because of the level that I have sparred at. I've sparred boys that have gone on to box for world titles. I've sparred with English champions, and I've sparred with loads of